All right. So for this Yuletide season, we're going to go ahead and just do a restorative class today. And if you've never taken a restorative class, I love restorative classes. They're so good on my mental health. They're really relaxing. It's something that I had actually planned on doing at least once a month before the COVID hit on Fridays, a public restorative class. So you want to be super soft and comfy. So if you look at my mat, there's a blanket laid out there. That's what I'll be doing anything that we do on. So you might want to have that set up for yourself that way. So a main piece of this practice is to just really tune in to nurture and honor ourselves. And that means that you need to feel free to come out whenever you need to. So we're going to be holding most of these poses for 6 minutes. I think most of them are around, 2 of them are 6 minutes. I think one might be 4. So if it gets to be too much for you, come out and lie in a position that's the most comfortable for you at that point in time. It might be just to go into that corpse pose with your knees propped. It might be going into easy resting pose, or remember that yin resting pose where your knees are up, but the insides of the top touch in the middle and rest against each other. Whatever seems to work the best for you is what you need to do for yourself. So if you would please just lie down on your mat nice and long. And I'm just going to ask you to do a quick scan through your body, noticing what you notice. And I just want you to get nice and quiet. And I'm going to hit a chime. And I just want you to listen to it to see if you can notice when you can't hear it anymore. And then just begin to pay attention to your breath. We're going to allow that breath to first enter in at the belly, and glide up and through those lower rib cage, like you're opening up an umbrella, and all the way up high, feeling those collarbones float up towards the face. And then like closing the umbrella, just allow the breath to leave the body, the collarbone settle back down, the rib cage closes up, the belly gets softer, and the air releases. Just in and out with these long belly breaths. If you're able to, just allow the exhalation to grow a bit longer than the inhalation. Remembering that it can be easier to do this if you take a small pause at the top of the inhalation before you exhale. And then bringing each foot onto the mat with the knees up in the air. The feet are hip width apart. The knees aren't dropping apart, nor are they flopping in towards each other. And just begin those nice, long, slow, sweet arches and flattens in the body. Then allowing the legs to grow nice and long. We're going to do a few leg inversions and eversions here. So we're going to allow our toes to come upright so they're pointing up at the sky above. And then allow that right leg to roll externally with the toes dropping out towards the right edge of the mat. And then so slowly roll that leg back up and roll it back around towards that left leg, allowing it to drop inside just as far as it's able to. Coming back upright and repeating with the left leg. And then bringing your knees back up in the air, I'd like for you to grab a hold of some bolster, a couple of pillows, whatever you have, a couple of blankets rolled up, and prop them underneath your knees. And then you might want to take an extra pillow and put it underneath your head and neck. If you have a blanket and it's chilly, toss it over your body. And what I'm going to ask for you to do is to just allow yourself to completely relax in this position and do nothing. Just allow yourself to be and listen to the words of the song. And then hug your knees to your chest. Remove the pillow from under your head, if you have one. And just roll your back out. And allow your legs to grow long for a moment. Removing pillows or props. Pause and check in. And then let's bring the soles of our feet back up, down onto the mat with the knees in the air. Now, we're going to do some gentle twists in the spine. So I want you to decide what's going to serve you best today. Would you like your feet a hip width apart? Or would you actually maybe like to move those feet in closer together, possibly even touching? Because we're going to swoop the knees back and forth, allowing the twist to go into our spine. And we're going to bring our hands up overhead like we're trying to touch the ceiling in steeple arms, bringing the palms of our hands together. So we're going to allow the knees to drop towards the left and allow the palms of the hands and the upper part of the body to gently roll just a little bit to the right. And then just allow the head to come back and forth, rolling on the neck just a little bit. And then bring the knees back upright towards the ceiling and the hands upright towards the ceiling. And then allow the knees to drop in the opposite direction and the hands to drop the opposite way of the knees. Again, roll the head back and forth. Just do it again. Hands dropping towards the right, knees towards the left. Coming back up. Knees to the right, hands to the left. Maybe roll the head on the neck. Then release the arms. Hug your knees to your chest again and roll it back out a little bit. And then allow those legs to grow long. Take a bit of pause here. And keeping the right leg long, we're going to bring the sole of the left foot on the ground and pressing through the left foot and the right heel. Let's allow that left hip to come up and roll over towards the side so we can roll our body over and then press ourselves up towards the seated position. So the next thing we're going to do is a restorative crocodile pose. And there's a lot of different ways to get into this. So use your own imagination to figure out what might work best for you. But I'm going to give you a few examples. So if you remember, crocodile pose looks like this, just coming down, hands together, resting your forehead on the back of the hands, like that. You can bring those hands in so they're both by the elbows to create more space in there for breathing. I have a small pillow here because this is what I will eventually use. I bring that in above the breasts, but underneath the armpits. And come down and rest like that. Another option is to take a couple of blankets and lay them down and lay on top of the blankets for yourself to prop, either below the chest or have the chest lie on them. This is a really soft, sweet way to do it. Now, and so this is just 2 pillows in one pillowcase. Coming down like that. Now, I personally, since we have all sorts of options today, don't like the little space in my legs to hang out there. So you might want to take a little blanket and roll it up, or if you have something for a spinal strip, you can fill up that space underneath the ankles. So find, oh, and another way to do it is if you don't want to lay on the pillow, but you want to be propped a little higher, is to change that direction and lie on it like that. Now, if it causes a little bit of discomfort in the pelvic area, you can also take a little blanket and prop underneath the pelvis. Seems like a lot of choices, but today you have them. So find some way that you can be the absolute most comfortable possible. Just get yourself all set up and cozy. And then we'll begin.
Oh, love, I pray that you break my heart so wide open that the whole world falls in. I confess I've been trying so hard to keep it all out, keep it all out. So heart so wide open that the whole world falls in. I give up, trying so hard to keep it all out, keep it all out. So love, fill me, breathe me to pieces. Love, I pray that you break my heart so wide open that the whole world falls in. If I'm made for love, make me strong enough. And when I need to hide, love, hold me in your grace until I feel safe. And love, fill me, breathe me to pieces. Love, come fall into my heart, it's wide open. Doves fly out and doves come home here to rest. In my heart is wide open, heart is wide open. My heart is wide open, heart is wide open. My heart, fill me, breathe me, heart is wide open, heart is wide open. My heart, fill me, breathe me, heart is wide open, heart is wide open. My heart is when I need to ask, love, hold me, heart is brave, heart is wide open. My heart is when I need to ask, love, hold me, heart is praise, heart is when I need to ask, love, hold me, heart is wide open. My heart is when I need to ask, love, hold me, heart is wide open, sweet love. Love, I pray that you break my heart so wide
just allow your body to push up onto the knees, coming into a bit of a child's pose. And let's get our props moved out of the way. Now, we're going to do some knee drops and then after that, we're going to go into a restorative bridge. So you might want to have a block nearby or some pillows so that you don't have to move too much, that you can just go into that. So coming over onto our backs. With our feet on the mats and our knees up in the air. Starting with that right leg. Just very slowly and with control. Just allow it to drop out as far as you're able. When you reach your limit, slowly bring it back upright. And repeat on the other side, alternating in this movement. And then complete the set that you're on. And then we're going to find that perfect restorative bridge. So we're going to be in here about 4 minutes. If it starts getting uncomfortable, come off of it. Now, a block is the easy choice, but it can be a little hard on the sacrum. And so to come into it, you press through your feet, allow your bum to come up, and then you allow the back of the sacrum to lay down on the block. Now, if that's too high, or if that's too firm, if it's too firm, it's easy to put a blanket over it to soften it up. But thinking of luxurious today, you might want to grab whatever you used as a bolster, or take your 2 firm blankets and put them under the sacrum. And if 2 is too high, take it down and bring it down to 1. Now I've got these great little square pillows. And 2 feels like the right amount with this because they're soft. It's about as high as that block was, just a lot more gentle on the body. So find what is perfect for you. Remembering you can always change the height partway through if it's too much. And get settled in. And then just allow your body to relax and release and let go in this position.
the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. All light. Yeah. All light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
And pressing through your feet and floating your bum back out. Bring yourself back down onto the mat. Again, hug your knees to your chest. Roll the back out. Allow the legs to go long for a moment. Noticing how you feel. Bringing the sole of the left foot down onto the mat. Pressing through that foot and the right heel. Roll the hip and the pelvis over. And just roll onto your side for a moment and lie here. And then push yourself back upright into a seated position. And then the next thing we're going to make is called a heart bed. And it's a way of helping the upper part of the body open up, but while you feel at ease and relaxed in the body. So we're going to do it in a very simple way today. Now, if you're using something as a block or have a block, you can use that as the basis of your heart bed. But anything else can work too, like this little pillow that I have here, something like that. So you want to prop whatever you're using as a bolster. So if you have two pillows, prop that on whatever you're using. And as you see, it's kind of elevated, and that way you might want to, which is what I really like to do, use a little blanket or some other small pillow to prop your bottom. Now try it out in different ways to see how it's working, if it's going to work for you. Now, as you ease back into it, your legs can be long. If you have something that you want to prop underneath your ankles, another little pillow, if you want to prop a little something underneath your knees. Your legs don't have to be long. They can be out to the sides if you want to. If you do that though, you want them to be comfortable, so you're going to want to prop underneath the knees so that they have something to rest on. Your hands can be on your belly or wherever else you want them to be. I actually love to do this and have my palms open to the sky and then put pillows underneath my forearms so that I can just be a little more supported. So for me, that's a perfect heart bed. So I want you to play around with that for a moment and find that perfect position for you to be in. Now, if you happen to have an eye mask handy, you definitely want to put that on. So, like I said, we're going to be in this position for quite a while. We're going to do a yoga nidra. Yoga nidra means yogic sleep. And if you really get into a good yoga nidra, it can have the benefits of a few hours of sleep in your body. Now, when you're in yoga nidra, doing yoga nidra, the goal is to be completely at rest and at ease in the body, and at the same time to try to stay awake and alert. It's kind of like putting yourself into a waking trance. You're kind of going into like a deep meditative state. Now, the reality is a lot of times people fall asleep during a yoga nidra, and that's fine. If you find that you're falling asleep, that's okay. Just wake yourself up if you can. If you find that you've dozed off, just pick back up wherever you are when you come to again and hear my voice. So let's start off again, listening to that chime. So we always start and end a yoga nidra practice with repeating our sankalpa 3 times. A sankalpa is an earnest desire, something we need in our lives. And it's said in the affirmative as if it is already manifest in our lives. Now, it could take a long time to come up with Sankalpa, so I'm just going to give you one to work with. So I'm going to just say it to you, and then I want you to repeat it quietly to yourself in your mind 3 times. I notice everything with peace and equanimity. I notice everything with peace and equanimity. I notice everything with peace and equanimity. And then please focus your attention on each of the following areas when I name them. Crown of the head, forehead and temples, eyebrows, eyelids, and eyes, the nose. And pause and breathe here. Cheeks and jaw. Mouth and chin. Sides and front and back of the neck. Hollow of the throat. Tops of the shoulders. Upper arms. Elbows. Lower arms. Hands and fingers. Fingertips. Pausing and holding your attention here for a few breaths. Inhaling as if the breath flows down to the fingertips. Then exhaling up and out the nostrils. Fingers, hands, and arms. Shoulders. Chest and rib cage and thoracic spine. Center of the chest, heart and lungs. Holding attention at the center of the chest for a few breaths. Inhaling as if the breath flows down to the heart center. Exhaling up and out the nostrils. Upper abdomen and solar plexus. Lower abdomen. Sides and lower back. Hip joints, buttocks, and inner thighs. Thighs. Knees. Lower legs. Ankles. Feet. Toes and tips of toes. Holding attention at the toe tips for a few breaths. Inhaling as if the breath flows down into the toes. And exhaling up and out of the nostrils. Feet. Ankles. Lower legs. Knees. Thighs. Hip joints, buttocks and inner thighs. Sides and lower back. Lower abdomen. Upper abdomen and solar plexus. Center of the chest, heart and lungs. Again, holding attention at the center of the chest for a few breaths. Inhaling as if the breath flows down to the heart center. Exhaling up and out the nostrils. Chest and rib cage, thoracic spine. Shoulders. Fingers, hands, and arms. Fingertips. Again, pausing and holding your attention here for a few breaths. Inhaling as if the breath flows down to the fingertips. Then exhaling up and out the nostrils. Hands and fingers. Lower arms. Elbows. Upper arms. Tops of shoulders. Hollow of the throat. Sides and front and back of the neck. Mouth and chin. Cheeks and jaw. nose, holding your attention at the nose for a few breaths. Eyebrows, eyelids, and eyes. Forehead and temples. Crown of the head. Now notice the breath, paying attention until it feels smooth and even in the belly. Notice the breath at the navel. So we will count the breaths backwards from 10 to 1. And when you complete this, just return to relaxed breathing. If you lose track of where you are, start over at 10. So notice the breath at the navel, rising and falling. Counting breaths backwards, 10 to 1. Breath in, 10. Breath out, 10. Navel rising, 9. Navel falling, 9. Now step back from the process of breathing and counting and witness the process of the natural breath in the body. Body is being breathed by the breath. You are the witness, the watcher of the breath in the body. Let's allow the breathing to continue on its own as we move towards a practice of sensing heaviness and lightness in the body. Notice where in your body you feel the sensation of heaviness. Notice the sensation of heaviness. Sinking into gravity and the earth. Now resist that feeling of heaviness. And what do you experience? Tightening of the muscles, constriction of the breath, of the mind and the emotions. Then stop resisting the heaviness and go back to experiencing, inviting heaviness in. Notice where in your experience you're feeling the sensation of lightness. Notice the sensation of lightness and where it arises. How does it feel in your body, energetically, mentally, to notice the sensation of lightness? Resist the feeling of lightness and notice how you experience that resistance. Physically, energetically, mentally, and in the breath. Then stop resisting the feeling of lightness and go back to experiencing. Invite the lightness in and let it be experienced. Step back from being the experiencer and witness lightness being experienced. Now stop the sensing of lightness and heaviness as we come to visualization. Staying awake, aware, and open to whatever arises. Let these images pass through your field of awareness. Burning candle, burning candle, burning candle. Endless desert, endless desert, endless desert. Egyptian pyramid, Egyptian pyramid, Egyptian pyramid. Torrential rain, torrential rain, torrential rain. Snow-capped mountains, snow-capped mountains, snow-capped mountains. Greek temple at sunrise, Greek temple at sunrise, Greek temple at sunrise. Birds flying across the sunset. Birds flying across the sunset. Birds flying across the sunset. Red clouds drifting. Red clouds drifting. Red clouds drifting. Stars at night. Stars at night. Stars at night. Full moon. Full moon. Full moon. Smiling Buddha. Smiling Buddha. Smiling Buddha. Wind from the sea. Wind from the sea. Wind from the sea. Waves breaking on the beach. Waves breaking on the beach. Waves breaking on the beach. Eternal restless sea. Eternal restless sea. Eternal restless sea. Now, rest in pure awareness, the part of you capable of witnessing your experiences, always present, fluid, at ease, watching everything come and go, permanent and unchanging. repeat our Sankalpa 3 more times. I notice everything with peace and equanimity. I notice everything with peace and equanimity. I notice everything with peace and equanimity. Taking a nice deep breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Notice how you feel. And then come back upright into a seated position. Ma Shaktidi, Ma Sabudidi, Ma Sanmar Perlicho, Ma Mujhe Apne Sarne Me. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh Mother, give me strength and wisdom. Oh Mother, give me the creative intelligence to tread my path. Lead me on the right path, oh Mother. Oh Mother, take me in your lap and protect me always. In the waking, dreaming, sleeping, and turiya states. Peace, peace, peace. Happy Yuletide. Thanks for practicing.